Everyone. We have a pretty cool stream today where we're going to be talking about the Southern Ontario Masters that's taking place in next weekend. So, joining me for this stream, where we talk about the event, is Greg, who is the TO. So, how you doing, Greg?
Man, I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, enjoying my long weekend. So it's pretty nice, relaxing. But I'm getting my blood pumped up for this cool event. There are lots of scary players. Yeah, let's just jump right into it. So tell me about how this thing came up in your brain as something that we could do here, and what is this?
So this is an event that is shamelessly stolen from the Malifaux community in the back in the UK. When I used to play a lot of Malifaux in the before long ago times, before pre-COVID. Um, this event happened every year. It was always the best event of the year, and we've got such a great community in Southern Ontario. I wanted to try and do the same thing here, and so the idea of kind of Masters format is that we will take the top 16 ranked players in the year 2024, and this was basically the cutoff was the 15th of December 2024, and those 16 players will let out over 2 days until there's one player standing, and that's kind of our master for the 2024 season. And the way those that kind of happens. There's two different formats on 2 different days. So the first day we have a group stage, and the top four players are seeded into each group. So it's four groups of four. All the other 12 players, which includes me and you, Lucas, because we did not climb that high, buddy, they get reassigned to those groups. And everyone plays everyone in their group on day one. So you play 3 games. The top two players in each group advance through to day two. Day two is probably a lot more familiar to a North American audience. It's like a March Madness style bracket system. So, the winner of Group 1 will play the runner up of Group 4 and so on. And you work your way through the bracket until, again, last person standing. Um, the
Yeah.
eight that don't make it, they go play in a different event on the Sunday. So, worth pointing out, we do have side events while this is going on. It's not just 16 people in kind of a drafty warehouse by themselves. There is a side event on the Saturday, which is a perfect time, to kind of dip your toe into competitive MCP, because the top 16 players in the meta will not be there, right? Well,
Good.
they will be, but
Very
they'll be
fair.
somewhere else, right?
Yeah, yeah, very fair.
Um, you know, things get a little bit more spicy on the Sunday, but again, the top eight, again, won't be there. So you kind of get a chance to experience kind of two different tournaments, at maybe a kind of more relaxed pace with some kind of crazy, Asgard or whatever coming in to coming in swinging to ruin your day.
And
It's
where is
being
it
held at
taking? Yeah.
Torchlight. Yep. Yeah, so it's been held at Torchlight Games and Hobbies in Burlington, Ontario. Same place where we had our GT in Canada. One of the store owners is like a massive MCP fan. We have consistent, like, great events there. Um, the GT was fantastic. I think it was maybe the largest MCP event in Canada. They do have another GT coming up, I want to say in September. But it's
Yeah.
it's been a great kind of community hub for the last few years.
That's right. It's like it's right in the middle of like a lot of the basically a lot of the good players are like 2 hours or less from the torchlight like building, and but like 2 hours from like different directions. Like I'm basically just over 2 hours west of Torchlight, and like Curtis, for example, is like 2 hours east of Torchlight. So this is one of the few spots that him and I will would usually would meet up if we both end up going to Torchlight. And yes, they have a new building too, which is so nice, and we got to play in it for the GT, and it's it's very cool. It's so much space too, right? The every table has
Oh,
you're not jam
gorgeous.
packed. It's incredible gaming space. So yeah, it's gonna be really really cool. So um I guess we can. Do you think we can go right into the group stage, or is there anything else left to
Uh,
cover?
one one last thing I want to say is so in terms of kind of pricing for the side events and the invitational side events, it's kind of standard. What I'm going to call torchlight pricing. So you know, prizes for the winners, but also a lot of that, similar to our GT event, a lot of the prize pool is also just raffled off, right? So there's kind of something for everyone. It's not a top stack prize pool. The Masters is a little bit different. Everyone who shows the top 16, there is kind of a participation prize for making it, nothing too crazy. And historically in the UK, the prize for winning is a it's quite frankly, it's garbage. It's a really tacky kind of metal crown. Very recently, I mean, very recently, the last few years, they started doing truck, but it was always rubbish. And
Yeah.
um, shout out to Will for kind of sparing you all of that, because that was my plan. Or like, I was going to get like a marigold glove and stick crappy gemstones to it as like a really like basic infinity gauntlet, and Luke's like, and well, the store owner's like, no, 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 Greg, like we're going to do this properly. I don't want to promise anything, but I've seen what he's going to try and pull off, and it's cool, man. Like
All
I'm
right,
excited for
dude.
people to see it.
I'm a
I'm not going
huge
to share
fan.
anything, but like it's cool. Like you guys are solid. He's a nicer man than I am.
Nice, nice. I'm a huge fan of trying to collect trophies. You know what? It's funny because like when you invited me over to stay at your house and for to before a torchlight event, the first time, and I came and I saw a bunch of your trophies from previous wargaming experiences. I was blown away. I was really cool because we in the MCB community overall, like my experience is that you don't really give out that many trophies. Trophies are like a kind of a luxury to win. Because it does take a little bit of more effort on the TO or store side of things. Um, but either way, I saw your trophies like, man, that'd be so cool. So anytime an event has a physical trophy you get to take home, or even just get a picture with it, it's like a things like that. It's
Yeah,
always in my mind, I'm just like, oh, I'd love to be able to touch that trophy. I can't
I want
touch
the
the
shiny thing.
yeah, I know
Yeah,
exactly. I can't touch the trophy unless I win it, so I want to touch it. But yeah, that's very cool. I'm happy. That was one of my questions I was going to ask you was that if there was a trophy. So, um, okay, are we ready to look at the groups that are set up for now?
yeah, sure.
All right, so let me pull
Yeah,
those
that
up
sounds good.
here.
Yeah, yeah,
All right, so we
sure.
have here they are right here. Here's the top four players as of you said as of December 15th, and
Yep.
so they've been separated, and the intention here is that you don't have the according to the rankings, you don't have the best players like basically knocking each other out before they get to the top eight the top eight stage on day two. So in theory, they're I'm saying that because like
Spreads
I'm
it
saying
out
that because
a
like
little bit.
I believe
Yeah.
I'm a good player. I'm a better player than the ranking I have, but I'm just like that's BS basically. Whatever. It's just my own delusion is convincing myself that's the case. So anyway, I guess we can talk through each of these players. So the first player, Curtis Osborne. Interesting. I've never heard of him before. Greg, tell me a little bit about Curtis.
He is a freakishly tall bitch. Uh, no,
Yeah, yeah,
no,
that's right.
I think everyone knows who Curtis is. I think he must be ranked like second in the world or something.
Yes,
He's
yeah.
TTS League winner. Was maybe the one champion of She-Hulk back in the day. Until he turned his eye towards Hellfire Club and then became an absolute monster. With that, I think he is probably still top Hellfire Club player in the world.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know if he's still top She-Hulk. I wouldn't be surprised though.
No,
He
he's
won
fine.
what season 14 of the TTS League.
That's right. He's won a
Um,
bunch of online events. He doesn't get out too much. He's got a few kids to raise, and so he's busy with that. So usually
yeah,
it's like a all right, kids are in bed. I gotta get a sneak a game in online type of situation that Curtis is usually finding himself in. So I'm sure people with kids can totally relate to that. But he's yes, TTS season 14 champion. He's also won numerous online events, including being the bracket champions of those TTS leagues, and also he went 5-0 at squad goals, which was a very fun event there, and he's going to be back there in coming up in May. So yeah, he's accomplished a lot. He's very active in the Discord community too, and he's always answering questions about the game, and he likes to contribute to the overall game knowledge on Discord too. So you can find him on there, and yeah, so it's very cool.
I was going
He's
to say before we move on
yeah.
though, because I'm not giving him a pass. I'm not giving a pass on this, but
Let's hear it.
so Witness, who was our number one ranked player, couldn't actually make it.
Oh
So he
yeah,
had to
yeah.
bow out. It's only very recently he's managed. He's like messaged like, "Hey man, is there any chance I can get in?" And strangely, that kind of coincided with a guy called Kyle Vandergraaf telling me he couldn't make it, which is, I mean, I think lots of people have heard Kyle. He won the season 13
Yeah, that's
TTS
right.
League,
That's right.
certainly the one before Curtis. A bit of a monster in his own right, and I don't know. I don't want to. I'm just asking questions,
Is
Lucas.
this
You
is
know, it
this
just
like a
seems
Tanya Harding
strange coincidence
situation?
to
Did
me.
did Curtis go over to Kyle's house with like a baseball bat or something?
I'm just asking questions. I'm just asking questions,
Yeah,
Lucas.
yeah.
I'm
That's
not
good.
saying that didn't happen.
Okay, well the next player we got Group Two leader Mark here. Mark is incredible player. He also has been playing Hellfire for a while, and he is actually the most recent runner-up of the TTS season in season 15. And Mark, yeah, I don't know. There's so much we could say. Mark is actually the last third between yourself and me of the Aunt May's Beefcakes, our team that has now gotten 2-0 in terms of tournament wins in the Southern Ontario meta. And so yeah, he's a great player, very scenario focused, right? He likes to win with minimal attacks if possible. He's always chasing like the dream scenario where he just like outplays his opponent with
The zero
positioning.
attack game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's of course like comes from his like criminal syndicate experience and translating that into the Hellfire scenario teams that he's been playing. But
and I think he was the crime lord for a long time,
yes, that's
like a
right.
long
That's right.
time. Was repping Kingpin, and I remember him saying this is kind of maybe the one thing that tipped the scales for me for like how being a little bit too good is when he Mark like turned to me one day and said, "Hey, Greg, like Hellfire Club's just better criminal syndicate." And when you think of like what Kingpin's leadership's like, or like Jesus Christ, and that's literally like the one model he swapped out. Like he's playing all the same models, just takes out Kingpin, brings Emma Frost in like old school Hellfire Club, and suddenly like he's in a TTS final. Like
Yeah, it's
I'd be curious
incredible.
to see what he actually does with the recent nerfs. I'm very curious to see what Mark brings
Yeah,
next
that's
weekend.
right. That's right. The
Because
I yeah, it'll be really cool. Mark is a great player.
he,
So
he hasn't called me up asking about Cassandra Nova yet, so I don't think it'll be Hellfire Club.
all right, so we've got our third group here. Obiscus, I think, is how you would say his name. He's pretty new, or like I'm not seeing any events before 2024, and he's only been in a few of them, so he's had a great record overall. I have here that he's been playing Midnight Suns. I think he won an event actually. His last event he went to, he won it with Midnight Suns, going 4-0. So I think this player he's I think that he's played some games and pickup games online, but it's very good to see someone immediately pick up the game. I don't know too much about him, so maybe he's had previous war game experience, but this is a little bit of a question mark situation here.
Yeah, so very much like the man of mystery of the event. I'm actually really looking forward to seeing him in person.
Yeah,
It's like, who is this guy
I know
that
that's right. That's
seems
right.
to be absolutely rocking it this year?
Yeah, so what we're gonna see. Basically, the question is he gonna continue with Midnight Suns? I mean, if you have just won an event recently, or like I guess in the last couple of months, and I mean maybe that's what I would probably bring. We feel good about it, so we'll see what he brings. But the last group here we have Ricky Johnson. So I'm not as familiar. I think you're more familiar with Ricky. So tell me more about Ricky.
Sure, yeah. So Ricky is one of our local players at Torchlight. If I remember rightly, he played a lot of Asgard in the past, pre New Box. In the team event that Lucas was just talking about, he's one of the finalists And we had a great like Red Skull 3 Apocalypse game. Ricky playing the Cabal and myself playing APOC. Um, so yeah, really like strong player, right? He's in the top four of the region in a bit of a shark tank that we've got going on down here.
I wouldn't
And
call it Shark Tank. I think
even if he
that
doesn't
name's
win an event,
claimed, but we're
that's fair. That's fair. I don't know what we'll call it,
I don't
but
know. We're I don't know. We're good. I don't know. I wish we had a more catchy name, but oh, we'll see. We'll see. We're pretty.
no, we still do our thing. It's fine.
Yeah,
But
yeah, that's right.
yeah, Ricky, if he goes to an event, if he doesn't win, it's very rare he drops more than the game.
Yeah, that's
He's that type of guy that's frequently kind of X and one. Um, and as I said, like was in place to kind of win that team tournament. Um,
yeah. We that was a close one. We barely scraped through that one.
that was a damn close one.
The and yeah, I have here too. Here, he has gone 9-2 in his last three events, and he's won. Out of those three events, he's won one of them. So that's a pretty good record, and lots of momentum. So yeah, that's pretty scary. I mean, all right. So there we go. Those are the top four players that got separated out. So I think, are we ready to start rolling on the wheel here?
Yeah, let's get the next 12 in.
All
Yeah, let's
right,
lock them
so
down.
here we go.
So
So here's the wheel, and so we're gonna spin the wheel, and the first person's gonna go into group one. Is that how we're gonna do this?
that's exactly yeah. We'll go group one, group two, group three, group four, and then
Okay, and then yeah,
until we're all in.
we're going to, as we stop on these players and someone is assigned a group, we're gonna just do a quick little 30-second to a minute brief on each player, like we did for the previous four, and we'll see how this goes. So. All right. I guess I'm gonna just do this. I'm like nervous. All right.
Let's go.
Who's gonna be with Curtis? Here we go. All right. All right. So it looks like Eric Rosiana is the. It says he's a winner. He's paired into Curtis's group, so I wouldn't use that specific terminology, but
There are absolutely no free lunches here, Lucas.
that
Like
is true.
absolutely
No,
not,
that
buddy.
is true. These players are all terrifying to me. All right. So Eric, though, yeah. So actually, I was looking at his history of his in Longshanks, and he went 4-2 at the GT, but both of the losses were to other players in the top 16 here that are playing in this event. So it's
Okay.
like it's like geez Louise, and then he beat a couple of players that are in this event too. So it's like this guy's like right in the mix, and definitely has the ability to make it. But do you know Eric? Do you play around with Eric often or?
Yeah, we play a lot. Like Eric is kind of responsible for me being pretty comfortable playing in the Black Order kind of backer.
Oh, gotcha.
Eric has been repping Black Order for like a long, long time. Again, kind of curious to see what he does with the recent Thanos changes.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was consistently putting up numbers with Black Order at our local events, and I think he's won at least one tournament with Black Order.
Those players are very scary. The ones that like hang on to an affiliation like through thick and thin, and like just like they're just
Oh yeah.
so in depth in knowledge and placement, and like they can see the momentum of the game and they know how to react properly because they've been there before probably hundreds of times or like so many times that it's like they know exactly how far they need to push their luck in certain situations and or like be able to pivot. And it's like the people who are specialists are
Mhm.
very like you gotta watch out for them no matter what. So it's cool. Okay, let's get the
All
next
right, let's
person
go
here.
next.
All right. Hey, who's in group two with Mark? Ooh, Juan Murillo looks like.
Oh, yep.
All right. So
I love the applause, man.
yeah, that's great. That's fun. The okay. So tell me, I don't know too much about Juan. I don't think I've ever met him. So what are your thoughts on Juan?
So one is our local Shield player. It's worth noting actually that we had a few dropouts of the original top 16. So one was actually ranked 20th. So not too far behind, but not in that kind of first court top 16. But he is our local kind of diehard Shield player. Like a lot of Shield players actually, he'll play Hydro as well. Like I don't know why. It seems that Shield players just seem to always like flip flop between those two affiliations, at least locally. Though again, lately he's playing some Hellfire, but with Shield models, and so a little bit like Mark, it's kind of fitting. They're in the same group, really. Um, Very curious to see if he goes back to Shield or if he's going to just completely wildcard it with the Hellfire changes.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting. We'll see how that goes. I'm interested in meeting one. That'll be cool because I there's a few players here that I've like played around or played like in the same buildings and tournaments of, but I haven't actually like hung out with. So, anyway, let's get the next match here. This is for group number 3 with Hibiscus. Let's see who we get. Oh, it's me. All right. Um, hmm. All right,
Who's
so
this guy?
all right, Greg, tell me about myself.
You're washed up, right? That's what I heard.
That, I mean, I guess so. I guess
But
so. Yeah.
I mean, you did okay at the latest Battle for Breath, right? Which is a kind of 2-day tournament held locally for cystic fibrosis.
Yeah, that event,
Well, this
that
seemed
charity
seemed
event.
very familiar, though, Lucas. Yeah.
Yeah, the charity event. I'm very happy that the person who won twice back to back in that event uh, didn't actually um, didn't actually participate in the day 2. So I was able to win the event. Thank you to the player, whoever that was. So
I mean, he had a great list, Lucas.
yeah, yeah, that's right. In that event actually. Yeah, to give more context, Greg smashed me with Inhumans at the Torchlight GT, and then I played Inhumans at the Battle for Breath, and I was lucky enough to win it. Yeah, but yeah,
I mean, you also timelines. You also won timelines. You've been what TTS final 3 times.
I've got a
So
pretty
you know,
crazy, pretty. I've done the things. I've done the things. I think that I've like to give myself like, all right, I'm gonna just give myself a little bit of a pat on the back here situation, cause like people love hearing that, right? Like people love when I talk about myself. So okay, but anyway, I'm gonna do it because my name showed up. All right. Um, yeah. So um I won the timelines. I'm actually, you know what, Greg, this I'm holding. What am I holding here? This is the. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see it on
oh
the
yeah, I can see
stream.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this thing, it's weird. Like AMG just like said, Lucas, like I
You
want you
need
to
you need
have
new
this.
models.
I
Yeah.
want you to have this, Lucas. This is Will Schick gave this to me. He handed this to me, and he said, "You know what, Lucas? You seem like a nice guy." Um, and it's crazy because they wrote a whole article about this particular trophy, and and then they said like just whoever's the coolest guy at Adepticon, we'll just give it to him, and then
I
and then
was
they
missing. Said he
posted,
found you.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was just like walking by and they're like, yo, this guy, they're like, look at how he carries himself, and then they posted an article time doing a recap of Adepticon, and they're like, man, we got a picture of this guy, let's we got to post him up, and so yeah, it's pretty cool. It's like one of a kind, no big deal. But all right. It's
Who's
pretty
next?
sick. It's pretty sick. Okay, fine, fine. All right,
Nah, it's sweet. It's
all right,
it's a
fine.
sweet trophy, man. Nah, it's sweet.
Yeah. So anyway, all right. Enough about me. I wish my name was on here again so I could keep going. Okay. All right. So I'm in group 3. So this is group 4. Let's see who we get. Ooh, Alex. Alex smashed me at the GT with his Guardians team. I'm terrified of having to play him again, so I'm glad he's in a different group stage. But you have you played Alex before?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. He was
I
of a
think
GT. He was running like full on like kaiju guardians, right? Like it was kind of a good meta call because I don't think too many people had kind of brought the level of tech that we'd normally see to kind of deal with that. Back in the day. By back in the day, I mean I guess last year. But so yeah, really great meta call. I think he went 4-2 overall, if I remember rightly.
yeah, yeah, but
Um,
he went. I think he lost his last 2. Like he was going in deep, and then he just
okay.
had maybe had a bad. But either way, like Alex is pretty. I think he's pretty new to the game, like relatively speaking, compared to like maybe you or me or Curtis
Mhm.
or
Yeah.
and but yeah, he's and I was looking through his Longshanks wins and losses, and like his losses are like only to like good players. Like it's not like, I mean, he's won a lot too, right? Obviously, so he's scary. I would be scared of him if I had to play against him again, and so I'm excited to see what damage he can do in Group 4.
Definitely,
All
definitely.
right, let's see here. All right, so this is Group 1. We've got Curtis
Group one again,
and who else in Group 1? Curtis
and Eric,
and Eric.
Curtis and
Right,
Eric.
there we
He was
go.
joining those guys.
Oh, Jason! Jason's joining them. Jason is he is the he has the YouTube channel called Zetrox Wargaming. He posts a lot. He's gaining a bunch of subscribers pretty quickly. He's got lots of battle reports on there. He's got different game talks, just talking about like the updates to the game, basically in like an all-encompassing channel that talks about Marvel. So the people that do that and like post up YouTube videos and these in-person battle reports, a lot of commitment to the game. Really appreciate it. He actually he beat me. I only think I've played him once, and he got me. So um, he's a great player, and let's see. I'm excited to see how well he does. Do you have anything else to say about Jason?
Yeah, he plays. I mean, I guess with a YouTube channel, he plays a little bit of everything, right? So
Yes.
I've, we talked about how Eric, I'm like, I plays back order all the time. Not sure what he's going to do. I have no idea what Jason's going to do. I have
Right.
no idea what he's going to
Yes,
turn
that's
up
right.
with. We actually go to a lot of the same events, but for whatever reason, only play like once a year, if that. We all seem to just either have a slightly different record or we'll just end up at different tables. But yeah, great guy, great YouTube channel.
Yeah, he's really great. I enjoyed my game with him. It was very fun. So, yeah, that's very cool. All right, Group 2, we have Mark, and who else is in that group again?
Juan Murillo.
That's right. So Mark, Juan, and we've got the last player joining them. Or sorry, a third player
Oh,
joining them. Dave
flip.
looks like. Let's see if it. All right.
Okay, Dave Vino.
So all right. So tell me about Dave.
So Dave was one of the other organizers for the Torchlight GT along with Kyle. So automatically puts him up there as a great guy. Played a lot of Weapon X in the past 12 months of all things, but was putting up numbers with Weapon X. Like I think he was literally best player in the world at one point with Weapon X. Um, so I really enjoyed like the wide Weapon X as well when Maverick came out and the actual Weapon X kind of Wolverine.
Yeah.
Lately, though, playing some Asgard, he absolutely whooped my ass with Asgard like a couple of weeks ago. After I took like a bit of a break off of Christmas and I dared put my toe back in the water and straight full on, just absolutely dominated me. So
Okay.
yeah, really good guy. Someone else who I guess kind of snuck in because of drops, but was when you look at the rankings was single digit points away from being in himself.
Yeah. I
And
have here. I wrote a note here saying he's been in 28 Longshanks events in the last year. That's
jeez,
I know that's not crazy. He
oh,
definitely travels
yeah,
all over the meta and goes to pretty
that's
much
sweet.
every event that every store. So very cool to see lots of activity, and yeah, being winning one of those affiliation badges is obviously like no joke. So yeah, so it's very cool that we've another one of those players in the group that have won one of those. So
All right,
okay.
who's gonna join Hibiscus and this Lucas shit guy?
Oh yeah, so I don't want any of these players. Oh no, Greg! Oh, come on, keep
No
going!
way!
Oh,
Oh, oh,
all
oh,
right, it was just
oh,
missed. It just missed you.
no!
All right, so Thomas. Oh man, actually Thomas beat me in the team event in the finals, and luckily
Yeah,
that our team overall was able to pull it off regardless of me losing. But Thomas, in playing in humans forever, I would not be like he's gonna be playing in humans at this event, like right? Like I would be
almost certainly.
shocked. I would be shocked if he didn't. Um, but
And he is one
yeah,
of those specialists that you were talking about earlier, right? Where he's been playing in humans since like
before Black Bolt
pre
got
Black
nerfed,
Ball
yeah,
buff.
yeah.
Yeah, buffed, buffed.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, yes. Right. I said Nerf.
Numbers,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
My bad. Yeah.
but
Opposite.
yeah.
The opposite of that. Yeah. And he is. I think he's actually 2-0 against me, if I can remember. He's beat me both times within humans, and And yeah, very good. He's won the that affiliation badge as well for Inhumans. So
Oh,
he's
sweet.
he's got it in his like Longshanks history that he won the badge a couple years ago. So very cool to see another. Uh,
Nice.
so yeah, that's I'm excited. I'm excited that he's gonna be playing. I'm not excited that he's in my bracket. Okay. All right.
All right then. Okay,
Okay.
group
This
four.
is group four. Oh, Shane's got it here. Shane's
Yeah.
been doing really well lately. He big thing is that he got top four in second wind this year. He went 5-1, only losing to the player who won second wind in 2023. So it's like he crushed. He did such a great job at second wind, and of course like he another player top brotherhood badge. He earned that in 2024, and yeah, so I don't know. What do you have any thoughts on Shane? I mean, like he's good. What else do you have?
Yeah,
Anything?
apart from he's really good at MCP. Yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah, I don't know what else
no,
to
he's a
say.
great guy. I feel like he's almost hit like he almost maybe took like some time off, like maybe a year or two ago, like step back a little bit, and then I feel like he's just absolutely come back with a vengeance.
Yeah,
Um,
doing really good. You know what?
yeah.
He's like always in contention to win the painting prize too. like
Yes, yeah, all the
he's
time. Yeah,
he's got some amazingly painted webwares. Was when he was rocking those for a while. He was like just like every time I went to an event he was at, it was like he was like winning the painting prize. Yeah, so he's gonna kick your butt, and his models are gonna look good doing it too. So okay, here we go.
Renaissance man. Yeah.
All right, so the last four here. So one of these players is going to
Okay.
be in the back brackets. Who are the players in Group One again?
Curtis Osborne, Eric Rosiana, and Jason Parsons.
All right.
One of these guys is going to join it.
Who's it going to be? Oh man, Reed is in the group there. This is going to
Oh,
be pretty big deal here.
okay.
So tell me about Reed.
So Reed Clements is the winner of our Torchlight GT. Fantastic X-Men player. Again, another specialist. I don't think I've seen him play anything else apart from X-Men. And I think he went 6-0 at the GT. Didn't drop a game. Um, Consistently winning like kind of local events. Um, Very rarely loses a game in general. Yeah, absolutely fantastic X-Men player. That group is scary, man. Like that group is scary.
That is pretty scary. Got it. Big winners in this group, and big just like it's gonna be cool to see who makes it out. So all right, here we go. Group two. So let's give it. What's the rundown on Group Two? We've got Mark and
Mark
Juan.
Tanaguzzo and Dave Vino.
Okay. All right. Here we go. This is fun. All right. Dutch is in the group. Looks like Dutch. All
Okay.
right. Who's Dutch?
Dutch will let you know, man. Dutch doesn't shut up.
Yeah.
But Dutch is playing again. I want to say almost like a shield specialist, but like a lot of shield players, plays a lot of Hydra. Um, Definitely, TTS season. I don't think finalist, but certainly like top 8 or top 4. Um, Lunch meet finalist, I think, as well. Like again, very commonly in that kind of X1 bracket locally, and he plays a lot, right? Like
Yeah.
he a bit like Virtus, he'll
Grinds.
put the hours in.
He probably
Yeah,
grind. I think he grinds more than anyone here. I think. I mean, I would almost I'm pretty confident to say that he is definitely plays more games than most of these players, and he
I
yeah
think he plays more in a week than I play in a month.
dude,
Like
it's
he,
crazy. 30. I have here 33 Longshanks events in the last 12 months, dude. 33 of them, and that's not
whoa,
including any of the weeklies he does. He plays like multiple game nights a week, like multiple weeks. He's playing game nights, and also like what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, he joined the Montreal Shark Tank team for
he did.
WTC, and their team overall went seven out of I think they got seventh place overall. So they made the top
I,
eight in the WTC. So that was very cool to see Dutch represent the Ontario side and do really well there. So yeah, very cool. And He's in the bracket for the second bracket. Okay, so here we go. This is the last spin
All right,
here.
50-50, Lucas.
I know.
50
You're
fifty,
either with
man.
me, yeah, whoever's in this is with me. Who else is in my bracket? Obiscus and who
Yes,
was the last
and
player?
Thomas Cougar.
And Thomas. Okay, yeah. So yeah, here we go.
50-50, buddy. Let's go.
Either way, it's bad for me. Like both these players are gonna could whoop my ass. But looks like it's you, Greg. You're in my bracket.
Hey!
All right, so Greg, for the people who don't know Greg, he's been playing wargaming for a very long time, and like I mentioned near the top of the video here, that I'm very jealous of his trophy collection for all of his accomplishments in wargaming. But he is a we didn't specifically mention it, but he is the back-to-back Battle for Breath winner, and he bowed out of the competition, and I was lucky enough to win the third one, but he still destroyed people at a charity event. I think
Yeah, it
the
was awful.
locals give you a hard time about that, or you go to a charity event with the best thing in the meta.
No, do you know what it is? It's whatever's released in August of that year.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what I
right.
play.
That's what,
Like, yeah.
and it's always been
Apart,
the scariest shit, scariest stuff in the game.
yeah.
Yes, you
Apart from
are.
this year. Now, to be fair, this year I didn't. This year I played APOC.
Yeah,
Played
that's right.
Apocalypse.
But you also, and we also mentioned that we played each other at the GT, and we were both
Yeah.
in I think we were both at that point 3-1, I believe, going into our game, and it was
Yep.
like, and basically the winner had a shot at like hitting the podium or close to it at least, and the loser obviously taking that second loss pushes you down a little bit, and so you were able to beat me, you whoop my butt with Inhumans, and then you ended up making it top four, and you won one of those you won some more AMG swag out of it because of that. So yeah, that's very, very great showing. And yeah, you've won a bunch of things. I remember when we first played, it was you were playing Malekith, Hulk, Mystique, and
Oh yeah.
it was that monstrosity,
All the bad
and
stuff. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was fun. And yeah, so that's very good. You're a great player, and I'm terrified for my chances. Okay, so that means though it means that Rob is the last player. He makes it into the bracket
Group four.
with Ricky, and so it's Ricky, Rob, and we're the last two in that bracket.
Alex K and Shane Walker.
Oh
So
yeah, there we go. So there's
yeah.
the so everyone in each bracket has to play the other three players at least once. But
Yep.
Rob, to so let's go over Rob a little bit here. He he's another one of those players that like you can usually count on him to go like X and 1 for sure, and he does really well. He plays like he's not scared of playing the best thing in the meta, and the things that are like broken, and but he's recently been on the Apocalypse train. As soon as Apocalypse was announced, actually, he was playing
Yeah.
games without an affiliation list because he was making assumptions about which characters just for the sake of getting reps in with the leadership and getting reps in with the cards. So he was like immediately on that. He didn't even see Apocalypse, the character card, and he was like, he already told his team for WTC like, I'm playing Apocalypse no matter what. And all of the grinding and the effort he put in paid off when his team played in the what would have been the finals if the third team that was undefeated lost.
Yep.
And his team narrowly lost that game. So he basically, what it means is that they got to the semifinals with his team. So he was running Apocalypse there and doing really well with them. And so he's won the
He
Apocalypse
is he
first
is top
win
of Pox
badge.
player, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
He's
I think
yeah.
someone might have taken it from him, but either way, once you get the badge, you've got the badge
Mhm.
forever. So very cool to see. Rob's great. I love hanging out with Rob, and I'm sure he's gonna do. I want to say like I'm
Yeah.
sure he's gonna do well, but like I can't say that because like everybody
You
here
can't
is
say
like
that.
so good.
Is an absolute monster.
It's
Yeah.
like yeah, it's like I know there's gonna be a good player whose record in this event doesn't communicate that because they're all actually like incredible and scary. That's my pre-excuse for when I go 0-3. Okay, I'm just saying
Oh
that.
yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat, buddy. I'm in the same boat.
Yeah. So, but then anyway, so let's pull up the actual group stages. We've got them all
Yeah.
set up here again. So, um,
I've just been told that Rob and Ricky from the chat just played first for an event tournament literally yesterday from recording this. So
Rob and Ricky both were in the
Rob and Ricky
finals, and
were
they're
in the
now
finals.
in their
Yeah.
group 4 together.
Yeah.
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 Okay. This is yeah. So how does so let's see here. I'm in group 3 with yourself, Thomas, and Hibiscus. Like how do I make it into the second day?
So of the top two players of each group are going to go through, and so usual tiebreakers, strength of schedule, which is unfortunately going to mean a little bit less simply because there's only four players and you're all playing against each other. And then VP diff, VP score, I think is the way it's done. I'll have to double check what I'm putting the rules back. But the idea is the top two from each group are going to go through, and the way the bracket is up, which should be next slide down, Lucas.
Okay.
Um, you can see you won't meet anyone from your group unless two players from your group get to the final.
Oh, I love that. That's very
So,
cool.
so the winner of Group One will play the runner up of Group Four, and vice versa, but they're on the other side of the bracket. And so you'll always play someone new until you get to the final, and then that's the only time you might play someone from your group again. So,
Yeah.
bit of a round robin group day one. And then day two, it's kind of single loss brackets, which does mean there's a good chance that you get through to day two and you're immediately out. For those four players that are kind of hanging around, we do have separation anxiety available. So there is a sweet kind of four-player thing there to
Gotcha.
pass your time. But yep, these eight players on Sunday will battle it through until there's one winner.
Very cool. That's really awesome. I'm man, just talking through this has gotten me even more excited, and I'm I don't know. This is
It's
gonna be
it's
tough.
just
This
it's
is gonna
scary
be
but fun, man. Yeah,
yeah. And then you know what?
it's
You know if you I like how like if I go like 1 and 2 and I don't make it into day 2, like it roll I can roll right into a friendly
the side
event,
event.
like a side event
Yep.
that's just like any other event. Which you get to play your games and have a lot of fun. So either way, like it's gonna be pretty much full days of gaming of Marvel. So I'm really
Yep.
looking forward to what you've set up here. This is gonna be very very fun. So, are there any other final thoughts you have about the event uh, or anything like that?
No, no, I hope it goes well. Like what I kind of love about this, and I think why it kind of goes down so well is like all these people in these groups. Like we keep saying they're all scary, but because of the way Swiss pairing works, a lot of these people have played each other before, right? We talked about Rob and Ricky played a game yesterday, right, in the final of an event, and so I imagine the games are going to be pretty intense because everyone on this list is pretty damn good. But the atmosphere, I think, is going to be actually pretty chill and um, just it's kind of crazy, like intense games but relaxed atmosphere,
Yeah,
if I can phrase that properly. And then a great atmosphere for the side events as well, right? Because people can just turn up and heckle, you know.
I love the heckle and all the gaming element of it.
And
The whole mind games thing is a lot of fun. Got to give Curtis a lot of grief. Got to try to get him off his game, you know.
oh yeah, too right, too right. I've just seen chat telling me there's almost 16 affiliation badges across the 16 players here, which is wild
That is
if that
crazy.
is the
Yeah, I
case.
think yeah, just as like to talk up Ontario, like we're where I feel like we've got so many incredible players and like when I remember when I was like first getting like going a little further out of my normal like radius of traveling and going to Torchlight for example, like um it was the players were good and I don't know I felt like they were good, but I didn't feel like it was crazy. I wasn't like scared, okay? And now
Mhm.
I'm like I'm scared. Okay, like now like everyone is just so good. Like everyone is getting so much better at the game and it's just yeah, it's going to be pretty awesome. The Ontario players like are consistently doing well in online events too. I mean, it's not just Curtis who's doing well, right? Like obviously Mark just made it to the finals and Dutch got it to the top 8 of the last league and
Yeah.
yeah, Ontario's consistently is like over representing itself on the world stage basically. I mean except for my experience at WTC. But other than that, Ontario is
I wasn't
overrepresenting
mentioning it,
itself.
man. I stayed. I gave you so much shit, and I stayed well away from that.
Yeah,
Like,
but that's its own thing. You know what? You know what? I had a
yeah,
lot of fun. All right, but okay.
yeah,
Anyway,
right. And
anyway.
that's what this weekend's going to be, man.
Yeah,
This is going to be good
exactly,
fun.
exactly. Okay, well, thank you very much, Greg, for joining me on this stream, and I'm looking
No,
forward
it's
to
been fun.
seeing you next this coming weekend.
Yeah, no, it's going to be good. It's going to be good, and we'll try and keep socials and discords kind of updated with the various scores and whatnot as the day develops.
Yeah, very cool. All right, man. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too. Take care.